Welcome to this build. I'm Jennifer Roberts. Thank you for being here. So this is just a bit of a consideration that I've been having lately. In generational debt, the sins of the fathers, so to speak, and the mothers, but it speaks of us always being tricked. It's that low-key energy into collectively into the next cycle without the wisdom and knowledge of how it can be applied, without the powers that it holds being known to us. And so I had my daughter who is in her 20s now at a young age, and the internet in my lifetime didn't really exist. Even in her lifetime for a while, it didn't fully exist. Not in the homes the way that it was. It was dial-up and, it was cumbersome. The computers were big. The phones were very limited still, compared to a huge quantum leap even in her short lifetime in this realm of technology and the abilities that it has. And it is with this that I've had this consideration lately of I've had to go deep into myself as a mother for a lot of the inner work that revolves around the internet, in that I've been touched by the worst, the depths and fears of the internet, in that personally, but prior to recent events, actually, regarding a child that I'd taken into care from social services, and seeing how that child was used and manipulated and used as a tulpa to garner other children for very nefarious people. And so it has touched me. I fought it, and I have actually won some of the battles, but not any of the wars, in that some people paid a heavy price for what they did. But it's with this that I've come back into this consideration of we really need to be developing the next stages, and rather than fighting it, we need to be doing everything we can as parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters of younger siblings to get as knowledgeable as quickly as possible as to the capabilities and how those capabilities via technology can be implemented, and with what intent. Because right now there is so much more good that people wouldn't even be able to imagine, like reprogramming in seconds that could happen for PTSD, for anxiety issues, for schizophrenic type energies, afflictions, remapping, brain mapping, reprogramming, creating new neural pathways in seconds with codes on screen. And that is just the start of what I feel these frequencies within technologies are able to do. But right now, like most things, they are held, that power is held, and the knowledge of that power is held by very few. The lords and ladies of this realm. And we are not doing enough to make sure that the future stages, which will be the programmers and developers, you see, we had a lot of wonderful, my brother being one of them, fantastic, organic, came in with knowledge, programmers and developers that I saw in my firstborn's lifetime come to pass at a very young age, just being able to understand and use and create codes, create languages with these codes so intuitively. But they were very few, and they were coming into it and were very easy for the few to absorb and enter into contracts with these young programmers, developers. And it's like having the powers of genies at the bases of keyboards, ready to do their nefarious work, while a lot of those excited programmers and developers, probably excited coming in from other lifetimes where this technology is nothing to them, but there's that excitement of reconnecting to it after being in this lifetime up to that point without something that is very intuitive to them. To see it being birthed into this realm must have been so exciting. They would have been so easily manipulated into creating things and developing things that are for nefarious beings, that are for like online stalker-like frequencies. And so we got caught on the hop. We really did. So going back to me, a lot of the inner work that I've been doing lately is that I felt a sense of guilt overwhelming, in that for a long time now, once I really started to understand the powers of the communicative tools and technology and the information that we give it and what it can do, I'm looking at this camera right now, and it's starting to feel like a portal, in that, and it is, and it can be used as a great portal, hopefully, if these words hit the right people and aid the right people to know more about themselves, because it's reflecting in them also. But at the same time, it can be used for very ill intent. My intent is pure with this message, in that I'm not trying to put guilt on anybody. I'm just letting you know what walk I've been doing lately. One of them is that I had to feel the guilt and then let go of it. But because I didn't have the knowledge of what I was dealing with when I first entered into these contacts with this technology, with these social medias, I'm so proud of my children, and they are the most beautiful physically to look at. They are all beautiful, but spiritually, emotionally, they are divine beings to me, with huge faults, which is wonderful to see them walking through those faults, and with huge wisdom, in that I see them time and time again, from the smallest one up, applying wisdom to their faults and growing from the experience. I love my children. I am so passionate about my children. I didn't ever think I'd be a mother in this lifetime, in this realm, but hey ho, there were other plans afoot, and I have one child in spirit, or in another dimension, and I have the 3 children here with me, and the pride that I have for them is immense. So, like those young developers, I got into a space where I could share my children with the wider circle of friends. I could share the photographs of them on social media, and how beautiful they were, whatever experience they were having, whether that be in the sea, whether that be the park, or whether that just be a smile. I was eager to share that with the world. I was eager to share that, and I realized that I didn't have enough knowledge to be able to apply half enough wisdom to not be choosing for my child. It's a little bit like the new way of christening children into systems that are made to control them, in that we take that in certain religions, we take that decision to christen them, we take those decisions to do certain rituals before they are able to even understand any of the implications of those contracts that we are entering them into. We do it, and we have been doing it very naively for a long time. The birth chart, the birthing system, the what do you call it, birth certificate. And it's a new way of doing that, in that I christened my children to the wider world without their consent, and without enough knowledge of what I was doing, of who I was making aware of them, and the lack of wisdom to know that there are very nasty people here. There are very nasty beings here that do not see or revere children the way that I do, or the way that my friends do, that do not see the beauty and innocence and purity in the children. And I've had a space and time that I've had to be in for a little while of letting go of the guilt of that, because I realize now that I see on social media, and this always broke my mind, I never did this, which I'm very glad of, but, and again, no judgment, but a consciousness of wanting to share all of the mistakes of their children. I've seen a lot of people do that, like embarrassing their children or stuff that doesn't embarrass their children now, but as they grow older, they might not want that part of their life on the internet. And now we've even allowed our children, because we've taught them that there are less boundaries. You have to have less, you can have less manners online, because it felt so anonymous, it felt so detached. But now technology has gone on further, that it is in all of our homes to one extent or another. And so we've built something, we've molded it, and then we've got it in our homes at our children, and we see, and I see, children holding each other to ransom with what they might share or might not share on social media. Children being able and willing to go so much further into a very negative and fear-filled vibe of attacking another until another child decides to commit suicide, decides to exit this plane. The implications of it and the depravity of it, rather than what could have come good of it if we'd done it with wisdom and knowledge, and how to apply that wisdom to the tool that technology is. We've entered our children into a space where we've made them think that it's okay. Thankfully, I can say that my children aren't there, but a long time ago, I stopped taking, I stopped thinking that I could just make the decision for them, that I could just share that experience online. And I should be able to. We should live in a space, in a realm that is so much more freer for children to just be revered, but we don't. This has been hijacked for quite some time, this plane and this dimension, whatever you want to call it, this realm. And it's been quite nefarious for quite a long time, generationally. And so we don't. And so I've had to swim in those emotions and let go of them, and give myself a peace about them, and a thankfulness, a gratitude that have come into the wisdom now, and more of the knowledge now of what these technologies can be used for. And I haven't shared a picture of them or an experience of theirs, you know, in a negative or positive way online, because I will not, I'm their guardian, I'm their protector. I am not their God. I am not their controller. I am not, therefore, the person that can make decisions in a space that is so new to me, where I don't know the implications of how these things, these messages, these photographs can be used or edited in a future date. I don't have that privilege to, I don't have that authority is a better word, or right is a better word, to be sharing that. And these are the kinds of lessons that we need to bring forward, that have been applied in other aspects of our life, for our greatness, for our wisdom, for our balance and wholeness. And we need to drag them up and make them set into time with the times that we're in that these ancient esoteric messages are the geometric shapes that everything here is built upon and beyond. And so they are timeless, but we do need to learn how to apply them in the present and in the future, see how they fit into. So basically, what I'm saying is, we are the keepers and guardians of our children. We are not meant to be the controllers. We are not meant to be the slave owners. And by making decisions that they will have to live with, for good or bad, in the future, depending on where this journey goes in this realm, depending on how far reaching this control is allowed to go in this new technological age, is wrong. We shouldn't do that. And we really do need to be feeding into our future sages, our future developers, of what the capacities, or not just the negative but the positive, but also reaching into the negative to let our children know just how this technology is being applied now, but just what the possibilities might be if they could be ones that write programs that help people rewrite their PTSD, that help people rewrite their anxiety pathways, that aid people to heal via frequency rather than be hurt by frequency. This is where we need to really catch up, and we need to catch up quick. So anyway, I'm just letting you know where I've been walking in my inner rounds lately, and that is one of them. And I'm glad that it wasn't a comfortable place for me to be in, and to submit to the fact that I've messed up. I did mess up because I entered into something excitedly to share some things that I just adore, and some beings that I just absolutely adore. Wanting to see other people's, reaction to these people, these little people that I adore. I entered into it excitedly, but I entered into it naively, and it is just another contact that for a very long time now, but I think I needed to deal with the residual of the inner workings of where I sit with that, and accountability. It was a walk of accountability that I've been on with this, taking into account the fact of what I didn't know then, and I shared too much, and what I do now, and the fact of how I bring that forward into the future. Where do those similar decisions lie with me and those around me, and those that I'm guardian of, those that I'm protective of? Where do those decisions lie in the future? Where do I need to be even more discerning as to what kind of compact I enter into in this technology space, in the unseen but very seen and connected space? And we really do need to push with our children to bring the same etiquette that we miss so much, the ladies and gentlemanly, graceful way of dancing with one another, of opening doors, of being kind to strangers. All of that is being lost in this new technological space. It's like they've been given freedom, and what have we done with it? We've allowed it to become a cesspit of controlling ourselves on behalf of the elite, trolling people, being in people's homes without even being able to get arrested because you're not in their home, but you very much are. And we really need to push back on this, and we push back again with our children and with ourselves, having some restraint, having some boundaries, the same kinds of boundaries that we would wish to see in others around us in the physical, the people that stand next to us, and that others would wish we would show to them. So yeah, that's where I've been. Much love, balance, and wholeness. Mwah.